All right, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Before I get started, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and my elders of Great Millstone who lead, teach, and rule well. Loving and honor to my fellow Akim, pushing the word in truth, faith, and sincerity across the four corners. Shalom, peace and blessings to the sincere listeners and the sincere subscribers of the Men and Doctrine Great Millstone. This is the brother Edified Jamis Land Church, coming with another lesson to the Spirit. And it's going to be based off of this article here from zerohedge.com. And the title is Russia Shows Off Robo-Dog with RPG at Military Convention. And, of course, with these certain subject matters pertaining to Russia, war, things of that nature, not to read between the lines on certain things, just going into, in this article and as far as posting to the tube, man. But just want to get into this article, which was dated from today, Thursday, August 18th, 2022, a few hours ago, 3:20 p.m. And it reads, Russia displayed new and experimental technologies at its annual defense convention at the Patriot Center near Moscow. Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered an opening speech at the Military and Technical Forum Army 2022 on Tuesday, organized by the Russian Ministry of Defense, and said that over 28,000 modern samples of military and dual-use products are being showcased by approximately 1,500 Russian manufacturers to defense officials from 72 countries. So I'm going to read those numbers again. It said 28,000 modern samples of military and dual-use products being showcased by approximately 1,500 Russian manufacturers to defense officials from 72 countries. So this is a major event, man. And this is a major event in terms of Russia, truly showing their strength and capability to produce wartime instruments. Like I said, you kind of got to speak a certain way nowadays, man. Reading from the quote, it says, "We are ready to offer our allies and partners the most modern types of weapons, from small arms to armored vehicles and artillery, from warplanes to drones." You see, so that covers pretty much a large gamut, man. Small arms, handguns, things of that nature, armored vehicles and artillery, tanks, and anti-tank, long distance weaponry, warplanes to drones, planes and drones, man. Manned and unmanned. These guns are in demand among military professionals all over the world for their reliability, quality, and most importantly, their high efficiency. Almost all of them have been used many times in real military operations. And, it goes back to Esau, and then, Edom, Esau receiving their blessing, going back to the passing away of Isaac, and that's another thing too. That sometimes it can be easy at times, so to speak, to lose sight that there's a whole set and sets of Edomites, so-called white people, in high numbers and droves in other parts of the earth. Now, of course, we know that, we understand that, but us being over here in the West, being here in America, sometimes it's easy to acknowledge what we see on a day-to-day, being surrounded by these American Edomites. But there's Edomites going to Europe, and there's a high level of number of Edomites, percentage of Edomites going back to Asia, primarily Russia, which they were bestowed the blessing of the sword as well, not in the same way that the European Edomites who came and captured the West, the Americas, North and South America, they received their blessing in a different way, in a different time, so to speak. but they were blessed with that blessing of the sword as well. All right. Just reading through a little bit. This is from World News 24 Twitter. It says, and you see they got the clap and the flag and the earth. That's funny, man. It says Putin's speech at the opening ceremony of the Army 2022 Forum and the International Army Games 2022. Aerobatics team at the opening of the Military Technical Forum, International Military Technical Forum. Vladimir Putin took part in the opening. I'm not going to show the videos. Lord willing, I'll remember to put a link to this article. So if you want to go back and watch the videos, you can. It says one of the most modern types of weapons that Putin was referring to appears to be an intelligent four-leg robo-dog wielding an RPG-26 rocket launcher on its back. So this is kind of one thing that caught my eye. Was this robotic dog that carries an RPG, man. It says videos of Russian engineering company Intellect Machines M81 robotic system roaming the convention center floors with a rocket launcher went viral on social media. So this is going viral, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the video. One, for copyright. Two, like I said, just kind of for the sake of time, and I'm gonna, Lord willing, include a link to the article in the description. But I would recommend watching these videos as well. All right, it says a Russian robot complex assembled using this was something too. It says a Russian robot complex assembled using Chinese technology and capable of using RPGs at the Army 2022 Forum. So it goes to show the alliance between Russia and China, who are two major components of the BRICS nations, man. You know how they're even though I even saw part of a press conference today, a little earlier, going into I think it was Department of Defense. They've been doing more press conferences lately, and just the U.S. government as a whole, they've been doing more press conferences lately with the apparent words, with the apparent deterioration of Creepy Joe. Other people within the government are stepping up and, speaking more to the public to kind of keep them satisfied, so to speak, not antsy and anxious about the state of the world and also the state of America. Just gonna read down a little bit. It says a robot dog with a grenade launcher on his back appeared at the forum. This is a Chinese technology. The cost is about 1 million rubles, which is about $16,161.75. Robots became the star of the first day of the forum. Let me see. Just a little bit more. It says, this would not be the first time the West's adversaries have displayed a robo-dog for war. Last month, a video surfaced on social media of a Chinese robot dog by Hangzhou-based company Unitree Robotics with a machine gun mounted on his back. So you see these technologies, especially with these allies and U.S. adversaries, they're sharing these technologies, man, and they're preparing to use them, man. And as it was written earlier, a little higher in this article, it said a lot of these weapons have already been used in the battle, in which, I'm not going to say too much, but you can also, it would be very easy to see that the situation in Ukraine would present an opportunity to use these and other weapons as well, whether they be old technologies that they got to kind of get rid of, instead of just letting them go bad and not being used, or these newer technologies as well, trying them out in live combat. But it's showing some of the other weaponry. It says, here are the other weapons displayed at the defense convention that wraps up on Sunday. Russian helicopters company, a subsidiary of a state-owned Rostec corporation, displayed during the 8th International Military Technical Forum. It says an unmanned helicopter. So this is a helicopter drone, in a sense. It says named the BOS 750. You see somebody there taking that big boy picture. It says future Arctic SSBN concept, Arctur, and its companion UUV surrogate V, which UUV I believe may be unmanned underwater vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong about that, but there will also be a type of advanced weaponry that doesn't require someone to actually be in it, unmanned. All right. Here you see I think this is a drone. Let's see. A UAV, which I believe is a drone, unmanned aerial vehicle. Here you see a mini missile for Panzer S-1M, which reportedly up to 41 can be fired from a single launch vehicle. So up to 41 of these missiles can be fired from a tank. You see, air launch missile with 290 kilometer range. Apparently been tested in Ukraine already been put to work, man. See what I'm saying? Armored version of a standard Russian army truck. Combat ambulance, 2nd series. Man, they whipping these things out like they they sports cars, man. You see? Look like bullets or nuclear artillery. Artillery shells. See, all types of stuff, man. But yeah, that's really kind of just wanted to show and display that. One, because it shows that Russia, the former USSR, is really cranking it up as far as manufacturing for war. But then also, as Vladimir Putin said, was quoted, that they're showcasing these items to officials from 72 countries. That's a lot of countries, man. Real talk. So this is Ezekiel 38. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. It says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh Shem Yahushua, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And as brothers have went into before, and continue to explain, more and more as time goes on. This is speaking of Russia. How if you go back to an ancient map, that this land of Magog, is now inhabited, contained within the lands of Russia. So we know and understand that when the scriptures say, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, that's speaking of Russia, because that's now a land that is inhabited and obtained by Russia. Continuing on, verse 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Now, what we saw in that article from Zero Hedge, that's only a portion of, it said it was over 1,500 Russian manufacturers. What was it? 28,000. Was 28,000? Yeah, 28,000 actual pieces of items. I'm sure there's all types of things included in this display. For the article's sakes, I'm sure they included a lot of the bigger pieces, as far as the unmanned drones, the artillery, the missiles. When I say missiles, I mean the smaller missiles, not the nuclear missiles per se. They may have had a side meaning for that, But within this 28,000 pieces, you could be sure that included, either actual or diagrams and things of tanks and armor and guns. It says small arms, missiles, all types of stuff, man. So when the scriptures speak about Gog, the land of Magog, and the Most High putting the hooks in their jaw, okay, and coming with a great company, it makes perfect sense, and it lines up perfectly with what is said in this article from today. All right. Continuing on, verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Persia being present-day Iran, and even containing certain areas around Iran, certain so-called Arab countries, but mainly Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, speaking of areas in Africa, Southeast and North Africa. All of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Gomer speaking of Turkey, and Togomar speaking of Armenia. All right, verse 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And you see, that's a perfect display. This conference that they having over there in Russia is a perfect display of this precept here. How not only is Russia getting prepared for a major world conflict, and you even have it wasn't mentioned in this particular in these particular verses, but it says that many people with them too, but also we see in here now heightened talks of China possibly being placed to a conflict with Taiwan, because of Nancy Pelosi going to visit the Taiwanese people, man, recently within the last week or two. Continuing on, verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. You see, so yeah, going even linking that with Joel, the 3rd chapter, how the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, would gather the nations, really to do and enact his judgment in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment, in which, hey, Russia and a great number of their allies, they're going to be getting in over there, man. They're going to be using these items, these dogs, robotic dogs, these unmanned aircraft. It's going to be a great fight over there, man. It's going to be a great fight, and we're seeing this being warmed up now, amped up now. All right. And yeah, in the same way that America has been able to get it in and defeat a lot of countries and armies, and do a lot of work military wise, hey, Russia's gonna be doing the same thing over there, man. When the Most High really amps up that spirit, and like the scriptures say, put the hooks into his jaws, man, along with their allies. Verse 10. Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh Shema Shai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. This is speaking of America, the land of unwalled villages, And by extension, it's going to be Israel too, but mainly it's speaking of America, But like I said, it's going to be the same spirit moving on these Russians and their allies to not only do this with America, but do this going to Israel too, because Israel and America are allies, the state of Israel. All right. Verse 12, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Like I said, speaking of primarily America, man, and yeah, it's going to be a big boy battle, man. You know, the war to end all wars. And we look forward to it, man. We look forward to it. It has to happen. Lord willing, it happens soon. Finishing out, this is Mark 13. I'm starting verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows. And we hasten, have a level of understanding. We hasten these days, man, because the scriptures say that the wicked, roughly paraphrasing, will wear out the saints, man. The saints are tired, man. The saints are tired, man. But through the Spirit, power, mercy, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the elect of our people, Lord willing, we're in their number. We will endure, man. We will endure, and we will fight the good fight to the end, man, because we see all these signs, even as far as this conference and these weapons, being shown not only to the 70 some odd countries, representatives that came to see these weapons. It's being shown to the whole world too, even us here. We're able to see through certain media outlets that, hey, these nations are truly preparing for war, and the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is really amping up the adversaries of America, Babylon the Great. So I'm going to end this lesson off here. Lord willing, you've been edified. Once again, before I close out, I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles and my elders of Great Millstone who lead, teach, and rule well. Love and honor to my fellow Akim, pushing the word in truth, faith, and sincerity across the four corners. Shalom, peace and blessings to the sincere listeners and the sincere subscribers of the Men and Doctrine of Great Millstone. Lord willing, been edified. Until next time, Shalom.